All right, we're in college algebra, solving nonlinear systems of equations. This is lesson 5.5. Nonlinear means that they could be circles, parabolas, other functions that are not a straight line. Okay, so let's look and see what we got. Looking at this right here, this equation right here, now that's a line. Now this one right here is a circle. So what we have here is we've got a circle and we've got a line. So it looks like you could have two solutions here where they cross, unless it was to cross right there and you have one solution. Okay. All right, this says the solution is 4 comma blank. So here we already know x is 4, so we could put 4 in, and 4, actually b's are put in here. 4 plus y would be 11. So minus 4, and it looks like y is 7. So it looks like that would be 7. And if I check it down here, 4 squared is 16, 7 squared is 49, 16 plus 49 is indeed 65. But it has two solutions, one of which is that, so there's another solution as well. But that's all he's wanting to do is find that one. This one here, now see how x is squared? But y is not squared. So that tells me it's going to be a parabola. So now I think this may be a parabola that's going down, probably because I got a minus y. So, but I've got a line, so it looks like, again, I could have two solutions on here. Or, you know, it could be that it touches right there, one solution, or it could be over here, don't touch at all. But anyway, that's what you could have. This says here, how can we tell if we're doing any work that the below system cannot have more than two solutions? Well, it can't have more than two because considering the graphs, I think A, the line and parabola cannot intersect in more than 2 points. So I think it would be A. All right, so here we come right here, number 3. Give all the solutions of the nonlinear systems of equations, including those with non-real complex components. So we're going to solve this system right here. Okay, I think what we can do is, since y equals this right here, I'm going to take this and just sub it in for y down here. All right, so let me get a piece of paper here. All right, here we go. So I'm going to take y equals x squared plus 6x. And we'll take this right here and I'm going to put it in for y down here. Now, first thing I notice, there's a minus in front of that y, so I'm going to make sure I distribute this properly. So it's going to be 3x minus y equals negative 18. And then I'm going to put x squared plus 6x in for the y here. So I'm going to have to distribute that. So it's going to be minus x squared minus 6x equals negative 18. All right. So if I put my like terms together, I'm going to have negative x squared. I'm going to have minus 3x. I'm going to go ahead and add the 18 over here to this side to set it equal to 0 because I've got x squared. And I'm going to have to do the quadratic formula. Now, I've got the calculator program on here, which we've used quite often. My a is a negative 1. My b is a negative 3. And my c is a 18. And look here, I got negative 6 and 3. Negative 6 and 3. These are my values of x. But each one of those has a value for y to go with it. All right, so all I do is I take this negative 6, and I'm going to put in for x right here. All right, so it means 3 times negative 6 minus y equals negative 18. That's going to be negative 18, so I'll add 18, which would be 0 over here, so negative y equals 0. So it looks like negative 6 is 0 is one solution. And if I put 3 in for x, I'll have 3 times 3 minus y equals negative 18. So it's 9 minus y equals negative 18. So I'm going to minus 9. So negative y equals negative 27. So it looks like 27. So there's my two solutions. Okay. And I went through that kind of fast there, but that's what you do. You can rewind it and watch it over if you need to. Okay, now look at this one here. This right here is an ellipse, which is elongated, kind of like this right here. Okay, this right here, see, it's a x squared minus y squared. It's a hyperbola, which is going to look something like that right there. So it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4 solutions we could have here. Now, it's good to know what these graphs are. We have not studied this yet, so you may not know what these make. But anyway, it looks like 4 solutions. So let me write it down on this next paper here. Okay, so I've got 2x squared plus y squared equals 6. I've got 4x squared minus y squared equals 0. Now on this one, all right, first thing I notice right here, I've got a positive y squared and negative y squared, and if I just add these together, those eliminate. So that's the way to go on this one. So if I add these right here, I get 6x squared. If I add these right here, they eliminate. And if I add these right here, I get 6. Okay, so I divide both sides by 6 to make this cancel. X squared equals 1. And then I square root both sides, which that cancels the square. So x equals, and when I square root both sides, it could be positive or negative 1. So there you go. There's what x is. Positive 1 and negative 1. So I'm going to put in this equation right here. I'm going to put 1 in. Now look here. When I put 1 in, 1 squared would be 1. If I put negative 1 in, negative 1 squared would also be 1. So I'll have 2 times 1 right here, which is 2. Okay. So if I put both of these in, I'm going to have a 2 here, whether it's the positive 1 or the negative 1. So if I solve this, I'll minus 2 on both sides. So y squared equals 4, and if I square root both sides, y would equal plus or minus 2, which means 1 has positive negative 2, and negative 1 has positive negative 2, which means I have 1 with 2, 1 with negative 2, negative 1 with 2, negative 1 with negative 2, and there's all 4 solutions. Okay. All right, so let's skip down here to number 6. Give all the solutions here. All right, this is a parabola. That's a line, so it looks like a parabola line. I'm going to have 2 solutions there, more than likely. I think I'll do like I did before. I'll just put this in place for y. All right, so let me just write this down here. Y equals x squared minus 4x plus 1. I've got x minus 5y equals negative 1. Okay? So there's the equation. So I'm going to take this right here and I'm going to put it in place of y down there. So I'm going to have this. X minus 5 times x squared minus 4x plus 1. There's what y is. And this should equal negative 1. All right, so I'm going to have to distribute my negative 5 through there. So I got to be careful. Negative 5 times all that. So the x is here. Negative 5 times x squared is negative 5x squared. Negative 5 times negative 4 is a positive 20x. Negative 5 times 1 is a negative 5. And I'm going to go ahead and add this 1 to bring it over here to this side. So I can set it equal to 0. Okay. I put my like terms together, so I got a negative 5x squared, and I got x plus 20x, which is plus 21x, and then I got negative 5 plus 1, which is negative 4. Okay, and now I can go back into my program. Okay. So my A is -5, my B is 21, and my C is -4. And all right. Looks like I got 0.2 and I got 4. 0.2 is 1/5. Now, like I told you before, 21 plus 19 is 40. 40 divided by 10, that's 4. 21 minus 19 is 2. 2 divided by 10 is 2/10, which is 1/5. So these are my x values. All right, I need to put those in and figure out the y values that go with them. And I'm just going to go back up here to this one, this equation right here. So I'm going to put 4 in for x right there. So I got 4 minus 5y equals -1. And I'll put 1/5 in. 1/5 minus 5y equals -1. So I can figure out my y value. So I minus 4, -5y equals -5, divided by -5. I get 1. So this is 1. If I put 1/5 in, I minus 1/5. -5y equals, that's going to be -6/5. Divide by -5. And when I divide by -5, I can keep, change, and flip that. So it looks like the negatives will cancel. 6/25. And there you go. There's my two solutions. Okay. Now, let's look at this page here. Now, this one and this one, both of these right here are kind of similar. I'll just do one of those to kind of give you, and I'm not going to do it all the way through. I'm just going to give you a hint. Right here on this one, since this is a positive negative on the y terms, I'm going to kind of focus on them. And what I'll do is I'll take 3 times this top one. I'll take 4 times this bottom one. So when I do that, now that's going to give me 9x squared. 3 times 4 would be 12y squared. And then 3 times 91 is 273. When I do 4 times this one, 4 times 4, 16x squared. 4 times -3 is -12y squared. 4 times -12 is -48. And now see how these are opposites? I just need to draw my line and add. So when I add these, I get 25x squared. When I add these, they eliminate. When I add these, 35, 6, 2, 225. And then I can divide by 25 on both sides. There you go. And I'll let you do it from there. But you're probably going to have, again, these are ellipses and a hyperbole like the previous one. So you're going to have 4 answers here. Four answers. So here you go. I'll let you finish it from there. And this one's similar down here. Number 7 up there. All right, I want to take you to this number 10 here. And this one, the last one, of course, but it is a little bit kind of not complicated, but tedious. A box with open top has a square base, so the base is a square, and 4 sides of equal height. The volume of the box is 200 cubic feet. If the surface area is 185 square feet, find the dimensions of the box. Okay, so that means my volume is 200 cubic feet, and my volume, of course, volume is length times width times height, and on this one it's x times y. So that means my volume, 200, equals x squared times y. There's an equation there. Now my surface area, okay, it looks like, now this is an open top box, which means there's no top for this. So I have the bottom, and I have the 4 sides. So I've got 5 surfaces on this. I need to find the area of all 5 surfaces, and that equals 185. Okay, that's my surface area. All right, so the bottom, I'm going to write these down here. My bottom, the bottom surface is x times x, which is x squared. Plus, now I've got 2 sides right here that are going to be identical. This will be x times y. Y is the height. So it's going to be x times y. And I got 2 of those, so it's 2xy. And then the front and the back are the same. And that's x times y as well. So I got 2 of those, so that means I got 4 of them. So I'll just change this to 4. Okay. And that's 185. All right, that's my surface area. Here's my area. Let me write them together. And there's my system of equations. Okay. That phone's ringing, but I can't answer it. All right, so I think right here, I'm not going to be able to substitute this one because I've got this plus this, which is going to be kind of complicated. I think I'm going to have to concentrate on down here. And I need to solve for y, I believe, because if I solve for x, I'm going to have x squared right here. I don't want to solve for x squared, and I'll have to do a square root. So I think the best choice is to divide both sides by x squared to make this cancel. I've got y equals 200 divided by x squared. And now I can substitute this for y up here. So I think that's the best choice. All right, so if I sub it in for y up here, I'm going to have 185 equals x squared plus 4x times this 200 divided by x squared. Okay, I've run out of room here. All right. Which means I'm going to have 185 equals x squared. When I multiply 200 times 4 would be 800. And then the x and the x squared, well, that will cancel this x and just leave me x on the bottom. Okay. All right. If I multiply by x, I'm going to have x to the 3rd power. So, let me pause this. All right, so I thought I made a mistake, but I didn't. All right, so since I have this x in the denominator, I'm going to have to multiply both sides by x because of that denominator, which means I have 185x equals x over here would be x to the 3rd, and then this x will cancel that x plus 800. And now I need to get this moved over here, so I minus 185x. And that's going to give me x to the 3rd minus 185x plus 800. All right. Which means I need to, this is going to equal 0. I need to find my solutions here, so I'm going to have to do some synthetic division, which is going to make it a little bit aggravating. But now, if you remember from synthetic division, it's got to be a factor of 800. So if I look at that, 1, 800, 2, 400, 3 doesn't go, 4 and 200, 5 and 160. Let me go this way. 6, 7, 8, and 100. And 9 does it go, and then 10 and 80, and surely it's going to be one of those. And this has to be positive, so I'm not going to try any negative ones. All right, so we'll go 1. There's no x squared term, negative 185. and then 800. And I don't think 1's going to work. And 2, let's try 4. 16. This is not going to work. Hold on a second. All right. I did this a few times, and I think I found the answer here, 5. So 5 works, and I end up with this. So this is x squared plus 5x minus 160, and now I can use the quadratic formula on that. So let's see here. 1, 5, negative 160. Okay, looks like negative 5 plus or minus radical 665 over 2. All right, that's what x equals. So these are my 3 solutions. All right, but now here you go. This guy has to be positive, so this one's good. Right here, now negative 5 minus this radical divided by 2 is going to be negative, so that one's out. So I have to take the negative out. So this right here will be my other solution. So if I punch that in, like I said, negative 5 minus this radical is going to be negative, divided by 2 would be negative. So we got to take that one out. So negative 5 plus radical 665, enter, divide by 2, and I get 10.39379696. There's my 2 answers for x. Okay, now the question up here says type integer or decimal rounded to the nearest thousandth. So I want it to be right here, which the 7 makes the 3, so 10.394. So there's what this answer is, and there's what that answer is. And now I'll just take these and I'll plug them in to figure out what y answers. So right here for your x answers, that's going to put in here 5. And what was that? 10.394. Now I'll take these and I'm going to put it in one of my equations here to figure out what y would be. So I'll just do it right here, right there. Since y equals this, I'll do 200 divided by, all right, first if I put 5 in there, 5 squared would be 25. So 200 divided by 25 would be 8. So this would be 8 with that 5. If I put that one in, 200 divided by 10.394 squared, and that's going to be 1.851. And there's my answers. So it's a little bit sticky right there. But anyway, that's what we've got going on. Sorry that it took me so long to get that thing going. I thought I made a mistake, and then I saw I was going to have some trouble with that, so I paused it again. So anyway, I hope you have a good time doing this. Enjoy yourself. If you have any trouble, give me a call, and I'll help you all I can. Peace out.